Hi, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new, my name's Maddie and I've been doing declutter vlogs for over 10 years now. And this time it's gonna be the best one yet because I'm getting rid of over half of my makeup. I'm not decluttering to become a minimalist. I just simply have too much stuff. I still wanna have my favorites and a little bit of variety for different types of looks, but I have way too much. I have a lot of products still from when I worked at Ulta, which was several years ago. I get a bunch of products in PR and I simply can't use it all. I honestly haven't bought that much makeup lately because I've been getting so much PR and random stuff, and I just have way too much and I want to downsize. Unfortunately, a lot of my makeup is long expired because makeup does expire. I feel really bad that I've wasted all of these products, but I can't go back in the past and change that and either donate them or use them up, but I can change for the future. But these products just sitting in my drawer are not doing anybody any good. They're not going to help me. I can't use them anymore, so I'm going to throw them away. And I have several products that I've only used once or twice that are still good that I can disinfect and give to friends and family. And if I can give them to somebody else who's going to love them and use them, I would much rather do that than have them just sit in my drawer and me forget about them because I have too much stuff. This is the start to getting a smaller, more normal sized makeup collection because not that I don't love makeup and I want a bit of variety, it's just so wasteful to have so much stuff that I simply cannot use. And I'm not someone who does consistent beauty reviews, so I don't need tons of stuff. There's gonna be 4 categories I'm decluttering in. Of course, we have the keep pile, then we have the trash for expired products. The third one is gonna be things that I can disinfect and give to friends and family or donate to a website I found called Project Beauty Share. I've never used them before. I've heard about them recently. You can donate certain gently used makeup and skincare items to them. I'm really excited to try this out. So hopefully some people can get these products and really love them and use them and they don't get wasted. So I'm excited about that. And then fourth will be the very few items in my collection that are sealed that I can put in my giveaway bin. I have a huge giveaway bin with unopened PR in my garage to do giveaways for you guys on Instagram and also to donate to a local shelter. And as always, please do not ask me for my used makeup. It's just weird. I'm not gonna send it to you. If you are interested in makeup giveaways with brand new products, you can check out my Instagram below. And if I'm decluttering a bit slow for you, just put this video in 2 times speed. There are gonna be 3 parts to this declutter. Be sure to come back for part 2, which is eyes, and 3, which is lips and other assorted items. I hope you enjoy. So this is my vanity setup in my office. I've cleared everything out of my everyday makeup drawer so I can show you it all with my other makeup and what I'm deciding to keep. There's just some used lashes, brand new products, and a product for a video that I have still in here that I'm keeping. But this drawer is empty. Then we have brushes, which I'll get to. These are some new brushes, dirty brushes, and then I have my everyday brushes and tools in here. We'll go through this. This is in my closet. I keep my makeup in these 2 IKEA Alex drawers. I do want to get new makeup storage, but it works for now, and I have most of them filled with makeup. Some big products for my everyday drawer that didn't fit back in these drawers, and I use these organizers from Walmart or Dollar Tree to separate everything, but this is just excessive and overflowing, and I'd like to get it down to 1 drawer for eyes, 1 drawer for face, 1 drawer for lips, and 1 drawer for palettes, and that's it. See what we can do. This bin is going to be for trash, expired products, unfortunately. This bin is going to be for products that are still good that I can disinfect and give to friends and family. And this bin is going to be for the very few things that are actually new that I can put in my giveaway bin. Okay, I've pulled everything out of my face drawer onto the floor to be able to go through it all. So these are all of my face products. We have setting sprays, primers, liquid foundations, powders, and concealers and correctors. This is far too much for one person to have. Let's minimize it. Starting with setting sprays over here, I'm kind of over the hype of setting sprays. This Urban Decay one is empty. This is new. It kind of spits at me, but I'm going to keep it for now. I got these hard candy setting sprays from Dollar Tree. I shouldn't have bought them. I just don't need them. The primer mist I wasn't a fan of, so I'm going to donate that / give it to friends and family. These are very sanitary, so that's good. The Defend one, I just simply don't need, but I do want to try the matte and the long wear, so we'll see if I like them. If not, they'll end up getting donated, so keep for now. There's a tiny bit left in this Fix Plus. I'm going to use that up. Face primers. First, I have the Touch in Sol Pretty Filter Primer. I don't know why I even opened this. I don't like the smell. I'm just not going to use it. I'll put this in my donate pile. That Gal by Benefit, this is super old, needs to go. This Georgette Clinger primer was in a BoxyCharm. I haven't even opened it, so I can put it in my giveaway pile for you guys or to donate to a local shelter. Peach and Lily Skin Shield Blurring Primer. I do like this. It's not amazing, but I like it and it's fairly new, so I'm going to keep this. 3 different illuminating primers I don't need. The Elemis one is a bit old and I wasn't a big fan of it, so I'm going to get rid of this. Unfortunately, I have to trash it because it's long expired. The Rare Beauty one I do like. It's the only Rare Beauty thing I have. I'm going to keep this, but I'm going to pass on this Laura Mercier Illuminating Primer. It's nice, but I prefer this one. This is my favorite face primer from Coats. It's a mineral SPF 40 and it's slightly tinted so you don't get a white cast. I use this almost every single day and I have a backup. Definitely keep. Smith & Colt, they hold a special place in my heart. I did freelance for them for just a couple of months several years ago. They're not really a brand anymore. They only have certain lip products and some nail polishes, but they had such great stuff. I'm so sad they're gone. And some of this stuff is just super old and it needs to go, but some of it I'm not going to be able to let go of because they have such good stuff. The Black Drop Mattifying Face Primer was my favorite. This is so good for oily skin. This is almost gone and it's old. I'm going to throw it out, but luckily I have a backup. The Untouched Foaming Primer had its time in the sun on TikTok. This is hydrating. It does work, but it's just a little messy and it's old. Gotta go. And the Diffuse Redness Balancing Primer, also good, but old and needs to go. Okay, liquid foundation. I don't even use liquid foundation much at all anymore. I have several products from IT Cosmetics. I know people love these. I just did not like them. They did not wear well on my skin at all. I didn't like how they looked. I have oily skin for reference, and the colors are all just kind of off. They're all supposed to be the lightest shades, but they're all different. Not a fan. Going to pass these along. Urban Decay Hydromaniac. I think this is more for dry skin. Again, just not a fan. Gonna pass this on. The Huda Beauty Foundation Stick. I did not like this, and it's old at this point, so it needs to be thrown away. Smith & Colt Veiled Threat. This was a beautiful weightless medium coverage foundation. They had a great shade range. This shade 120 Cool was actually a little bit light for me, shockingly. And it's old, so I'm going to get rid of this one, but I do have a backup in a shade darker that I will keep and use. Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is a fantastic full coverage long wearing foundation. I'm in the shade 1C0 Shell. If you're fair like me, this is great. This is a beautiful foundation. I love it, but this one's super old and it needs to go. But the Ordinary Coverage Foundation is a great dupe for double wear and it's so cheap. It's like $6 or $7. I'm in the shade 1.0N. Love this. This is the liquid foundation I use if I'm going to use one. Definitely keeping this. Then I have a mini Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. Look how cute this is. I picked it up at Dollar Tree. It's in Soft Ivory. I'm not 100% sure if that was my shade or not. This is a great foundation and this is just a cute little one. I'm going to hang on to this. Concealers, correctors, and some eye primers. So first off, I have my ultimate holy grail. Have been using this for over a decade. Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion is my everything. Definitely keeping this. But this mini size is old and expired. A Viseart and an Alamar Cosmetics eye primer. These were good, but just not my absolute favorite, and they're old at this point and need to be thrown away. Some sample sizes of my favorite Coats primer, but unfortunately these are expired, so the SPF is not going to work anymore, so I need to throw these away. And the Smith & Colt Black Drop Mini Face Primer. Again, this is just old and needs to be thrown away. The LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealers. These are great. They're really inexpensive. This highlighter shade I thought was just white, but it has shimmer. I'm not going to use this and it's old, needs to be thrown away. The mint green one also is a bit old. It just doesn't seem like it's working the same anymore, but I do like this as a color corrector, so I might pick this up again. And then I don't know if this was exactly my shade, so I'm going to get rid of it. They're also all old, but I do like these. Essence Camouflage Matte Concealer. I love this. I'm in the shade 10 Light Rose. This is really inexpensive. They don't have a good shade range at all, unfortunately, but if you're pale like me and you want something cheap, I recommend this. This is the second bottle I've gone through. It's completely empty. I am going to purchase it again, but this is trash. Kat Von D Whiteout Locket Concealer. I've had this for many years and I've never even used it. It needs to be thrown away. Sorry if I'm not holding things perfectly in frame. I can't see the screen. I'm trying, I promise. This is the Wet n Wild Come Correct Celebrity Concealer. I picked this up at Dollar Tree and I really liked it, but it doesn't quite work the same anymore. I think it's gone bad, so it needs to be thrown away. The IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. I'm in the shade 10.5 Light. This is really nice. It's very full coverage, it's very thick, but I do like it, so I'm going to keep this, and it's pretty new. Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. This is in C0.5. I do like this, but I think this one has gone bad. I might also need like half a shade darker. I'm gonna throw this away. Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Color Corrector in Peach. I thought I liked this, but it doesn't wear well, so I'm gonna get rid of this. And the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. I do like this, but I like the brightening shade instead of this cool ivory shade. And this is old, and since it has the built-in sponge, it's full of bacteria, and I can't really clean it, so it needs to be thrown out. And powders. Setting powders, finishing powders, and powder foundations here. I have this little sample from Laura Mercier that I've had forever, and I've never used it clearly, so I'm gonna give this to somebody else. My MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation in shade NW15 is my absolute favorite. I don't really wear liquid foundation anymore. I just do concealer and this on top. I love this, and I do have a backup, definitely keeping. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I do like having a slightly tinted pressed powder, and this is a really nice one I've been using. I'm gonna keep this. Too Faced Born This Way Setting Powder. This is very old. I've had this for several years, and there's still so much product left. I couldn't get through it all. I'm not a huge Too Faced fan, so I wouldn't repurchase this, but this did work nicely. It's old. I need to throw it out. The Laura Mercier new Rose Translucent Setting Powder. I just recently got this and I'm really liking it, so I'm going to keep this as my loose setting powder. The Anastasia Loose Setting Powder in Translucent. This thing is huge. I do like this. I wish it was flesh toned instead of this white, because you do get a bit of a white cast. So I really just don't need two loose setting powders, so I'm going to keep this one and pass this one along. I don't even know what setting powders are in these. I'm just going to clean these out and reuse these containers. Lottie London makes some really great stuff, and it's really affordable. I have this mini loose setting powder from them, which is great for travel, so I am going to keep it for that purpose. The MAC Prep and Prime Translucent Setting Powder. This is super old, like 6 or 7 years old. Don't judge me. This is back from when I was in beauty school. This was in my MAC kit. It's just really old. It needs to go, and I don't think it's super amazing or anything. So I'm going to back to MAC this, which is essentially meaning it's getting thrown out. Same with this MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. It's super old, and I just really don't use it. It's going back to MAC. This Benefit Hello Happy Powder Foundation is such a mess. I think it was a little bit better when I first got it, but I put my brush in this recently to try and use it, and it just got everywhere. The powder got all over my vanity, my arms, my clothes. It was a huge mess, and it didn't look great on the skin. Definitely going to be throwing this out. The IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed. I do like this, but I prefer when pressed powders or powders in general are slightly tinted. I've used this quite a bit though, but I have the Charlotte Tilbury, so I don't know. I'm gonna keep both for now, but maybe I'll end up getting rid of this. I just feel weird because they've both been used a decent amount, so we'll see. I'm gonna keep both for now. I would just rather keep it and get more use out of it than throw it away and it get completely wasted. So that's why it's sticking around for now. We'll see. Maybe I can find a friend who wants it. 2 unopened powders. This is the Lottie London Pressed Setting Powder. It's sealed. I simply just don't need it, so I'm gonna put this in my giveaway pile. And the Rimmel Stay Matte. This is old. I've had it for a while, but it's sealed and I've always wanted to try it, so I am gonna still hang on to it. And lastly, the Smith & Colt Instant Recall Spray Setting Powder. Yeah, look. It's a spray powder. It's actually really cool and works really well. It is a little bit old, but I think it's definitely worth keeping, so I'm gonna keep this. It's super cool. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm putting 2 things in my giveaway pile that are brand new. 10 things are gonna be sanitized and given to friends and family or donated to that website. And this is the trash pile. I hate that I've wasted this much, but I can't go back in time and change it. I can only make things better for the future. So all this will be thrown away because it's long expired, unfortunately. Now these are all of my face products. This is all I'm keeping. I still need to work on paring down the powders here and the setting sprays, but this is so much better. I'm happy with this. These are all of my cheek products, so blush, bronzer, highlighter, and contour, and then the palettes of face products over here as well. This is so excessive. Cheek products look so similar to each other on the face. I do not need this much. We'll start with palettes since they're on the side. This is a old Smashbox Holiday Contour and Highlight palette. My favorite contour is in here. If I could keep this row and get rid of the other two, I would, but I'm just gonna keep the whole thing. Blush palettes. This is a Z palette that I have some depotted old Benefit blushes, Bella Bamba, Rockateur, Coralista, Sugar Bomb. Remember these? These are super old. They do not work the same. I'm gonna keep the palette obviously, but throw all these out. Another Benefit palette, Cheek Leaders Pink Squad. I do like this. It's nice, but most of them don't work for my skin tone, so I'm gonna pass this along to somebody else. This MAC palette is pretty old and I don't use most of them, but I do like these two shades. I love Pinch Me. I'm probably gonna take these out and put them in something else and throw the other products away because they're just super old and they don't work for me, but I do like those two blushes. So keeping for now, I'm gonna try to shrink down the size of this packaging. This is the Tarte Big Blush Book 3 that I depotted. I do like this, especially these shades, and I like the highlight. I don't really use the other ones. This is a product that I really need to try each of these other blushes and see, do they still work good? Do I like the shade? If not, they need to go, but hopefully I can just combine these and have one blush palette with different brands. So this one is still kind of being tested. It's getting a little old though, so we'll see how much longer I can use these. Highlighter palettes, the Lottie London Shimmer Squad. This is really nice. I just simply don't need it. I'm gonna pass this on. The Anastasia, Moonchild, and Aurora Glow Kits. Yes, these are old, but they're discontinued, and I'm absolutely obsessed. I used to use these all the time. I cannot bear to part with these. Definitely keeping both of them. The Ofra On The Glow palette, I got this in a BoxyCharm, and this is honestly a really expensive product. It's really beautiful, but I just really don't know if this is gonna work for my skin tone. I do wanna give it a go and try it out a bit more. If not, I'm probably going to be giving this to one of my friends. So we'll see, but I just don't think all these shades work best for me and they'll work better for somebody else. Really pretty though. Okay, these are multi-use products or like small palettes. I have the Cover FX Custom Enhancer palette with 3 highlighters in it. I do like this and it's fairly new. I really like Cover FX. I want to keep this for now, but I may not keep it for long because I may decide it's just not something I reach for as much. So keep for now. I also have this highlighter palette from Touch and Soul. Really beautiful. I don't use these darker shades, but I do really love the lighter shades and I could use them as eyeshadow. I really shouldn't keep both of these, but I really like this one, so we'll see. I'm gonna keep them both for now. The Becca Afterglow palette. Honestly, this is really old. It has highlighters and a couple blushes, but this is such a great travel palette because I can use it as blush, highlighter, and eyeshadow, so I'm gonna keep this one. I did already sanitize it, so it's still good for now. This Alley Oop Stack the Odds Sassy Pants Trio. I did a review on this on the Flip app, and they're all cream products. They're fine. They're just not my favorite. I'm not a big cream face cheek product person, so I'm gonna pass this on. Wet n Wild Color Icon Trio in Sunset Junction. This was limited edition. I absolutely loved it, specifically for the blush and highlight shade. Really pretty, but really old at this point, and they honestly don't really even work the same anymore. So this sadly has to go. On to blushes here. I do have a liquid and a cream stick, this Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Blush. This is new. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm going to try it again, but it's probably going to be donated because it's just kind of a weird concept for me, and I'm not a big liquid and cream cheek person. This little Milk Makeup Work Stick for lips and cheeks, I really just don't like it. I'm gonna pass this on. This is a super old MAC holiday collection, the Nutcracker Sweet Peach Face Compact with the Tutu highlighter and the At Dusk blush. I'm obsessed with this. I've used it a ton. It was great for my skin tone. Beautiful products. It's really old, like I said, and it's really starting to bite the dust and not work as well anymore, but I can't bear to let this go yet. I'm gonna use this till it doesn't work anymore. Love this. Beautiful, great for travel. Still keeping. Judge me. I don't care. Bourjois, is that how you pronounce this? Please let me know. This is a little blush duo. My dad got me a few different things when he went to France, and this is one of them, and he picked it out himself, which I think is so cute. I'm definitely keeping this. This Laura Mercier Tropic Hues blush, really pretty. I just don't need this. I have other things I like more, and I don't reach for this anymore. I tried it recently, and I just wasn't crazy about how it looked. It's not that it's bad, it's just that so many things look so similar to each other. I don't need all this stuff. So I'm going to possibly pass this on, but it's a little old. We'll see where I put this. Two minis, the Nars Orgasm Blush and the Lancome Blushing Tresor blush. I did really love this Lancome one, but it does not work the same. These are very similar. This one doesn't work the same anymore, so I'm going to get rid of it, but I'm going to keep the Nars one. Tarte has great blushes. This is a mini one in Party, but it just doesn't work the same, needs to go. Lottie London, again, great blush called Exposed, but I just don't know if I need this. I'm conflicted because it's pretty, I like it, it works well, but I have so much. I'm gonna think about it. These two Buxom Wanderlush Primer Infused Blushes are beautiful. They work so well. They're some of my favorites. This is Dolly and Seychelles. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. I love these. Definitely keeping. Smith & Colt, you know I have a soft spot. These are their blushes in Cool Pink and Universal Peach, and they're very shimmery. I don't want to get rid of Smith & Colt since they're discontinued, but I just don't know if I'm really going to use these because they're so metallic-y shimmery. I'm going to keep them, but I might just put them in my memory nostalgia box. I love looking back at old makeup that I really loved, so these might just go in that box if I decide not to use them. We'll see. Becca Blush and Songbird. This is beautiful. Definitely keeping it. One of my favorites. This Note Blush in Desert Rose. I really thought I was going to get rid of this. It has such annoying packaging, but this is such a beautiful shade. I'm definitely keeping it. I love it on my skin. Hard Candy Living Doll. This is old, but I love it. This is such a beautiful color. It's like this winter cold, like frostbitten cheeks kind of look, I guess. I don't want to explain it. It's so beautiful. I already have a backup of this. I love it. I'm gonna keep this. Wet n Wild Ombre Blush in a Purple Haze. I was gonna keep it because it's my only purple blush, but it looks a little odd on me. I look sick, so we're gonna get rid of that. A few Benefit Box Powder Blushes. I do really like these. This is Gold Rush. I'm gonna keep this one. Hervana, I really love. This was one of my favorites for quite some time. Georgia. I think I'm gonna get rid of Georgia. I don't think I need this. It doesn't look amazing or anything. I have a Charlotte Tilbury blush here and Pillow Talk. I don't really like the way this blush is set up, but it is a pretty color. I'm a little conflicted. I'm gonna try it again. I think I'll keep it for now. Wet n Wild Keep It Peachy. I don't know why I kept this. This is such a weird shade for me. I'm gonna get rid of that. As pretty as the Lottie blushes and as well as it works, I just don't need it. I've kept too much. I'm gonna pass this along to somebody else. Highlighters. This is so much for something that looks almost the same every time. The Wet n Wild Moon Tears. This is beautiful. I've been using this lately. I'm keeping this one. I also have the Wet n Wild You Glow Girl Loose Powder Highlighter. I don't need both. I'm gonna pass this on. A liquid highlighter from Benefit. This is High Beam. This is beautiful. This is a really natural dewy highlight, and I don't even like liquid highlighters, but I do really like this, but it's unfortunately super old and needs to go. Two mini Laura Geller highlighters in Diamond Dust and Gilded Honey. These are so cute. I'm so tempted to keep both of them. I'm gonna keep Gilded Honey, but I'm gonna get rid of this one because I just don't reach for it anymore. This mini Milani highlight in Strobe Light, I've used the living hell out of. It's honestly old, but I use it all the time. I'm gonna keep this. Love this. I wish more things came in mini sizes because I wouldn't use up a full size of this. I've used this for years and it's still not gone. Two Lottie London Bounce highlighters. This is not for my skin tone and I'm just not crazy about the way this looks. Pass these on. This Urban Decay Space Powder highlighter is mostly just like shimmery glitter. I don't know why I bought this. I'm gonna get rid of this. Dose of Colors highlighter in ICU Baby. This used to be one of my favorites. It's very finicky. You can't touch it with your fingers. It ruins it. It is pretty, but I'm just kind of over it and I feel like it's a bit old now. This MAC Mineralized Skin Finish and Perfect Topping. This is a very subtle highlight, so I'm a little conflicted if I should even keep it. But I think I'm going to keep it for now. If not, I'll back to MAC it. And then these Wet n Wild Brightening Rocks. Like, why is this a thing? Where it's loose. This is just unnecessary. I don't need this. It's kind of gimmicky. I'm going to get rid of it. And lastly, these are bronzer contour products, mostly contour because I'm so fair I don't really use bronzer. I do have this bronzer from Anastasia. Look how beautiful this packaging is. It's just stunning. I've kept it for the packaging, but it's ridiculous because it's the shade Cappuccino. And oh my god, I cannot wear this shade. So I'm gonna finally pass this on to somebody else, but I'm obsessed with the packaging. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow Contour and Highlight in light medium, I think. This is a beautiful, really light contour shade. If you're fair like me, I'm definitely gonna keep this. And it has a really subtle highlight. Oh, that's why I was conflicted. I was like, I don't need this if I'm keeping this. I think I'm going to back to MAC this, but I do want to compare these two highlighters and see. So probably back to MAC, gonna keep both for right now. This is another product my dad got me in France. So cute, keeping that. This is my favorite contour. It's the Smashbox Light Contour Powder. This is great for fair skin tones. This is the one that I depotted out of that other Smashbox palette, and I just put it in this Tarte container I had so I can take it with me places. Definitely keeping. Benefit Hula Light, still not the right shade for fair skin, getting rid of that. This is the Bbia Blush and Macadamia Blossom. Essentially, it's a really light contour shade, but it's actually too light for me, which is wild. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I have a Laura Geller Bronze and Brighten in medium. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah, just not my shade. Going to pass that on. I have Nars Laguna Bronzer Mini. As much as I'd like to keep this, sorry, I keep getting out of frame. As much as I'd like to keep this, I just don't think it's right for my skin tone, so I'm gonna pass this on to someone who can actually use it. Same with this little Lotty Sun-Kissed Sunburst Bronzer Mini. Not for my skin tone, pass it on to somebody else. And lastly, this is a full size and a mini of the same thing. This is the Cover FX Setting Powder in Translucent Deep. A Cover FX artist told me a tip that if you're fair, you can use this as contour, and it does work. It's a super interesting concept, and so that's why I have this. When I worked at Ulta, she gave me this, and then I have a mini, and I did use it as contour for a while, but I just don't do it anymore, and I don't really like the shade on me anymore, so I'm going to pass these on. That's all for this drawer. Here's what the trash bin is looking like. I'm gonna need a bigger giveaway bin for friends and family. I didn't realize I had so much. Keeping 6 palettes for now. I guess these 3 small palettes as well I'm keeping. These are all the blushes. Honestly, I'm just not gonna use this. I'm gonna go ahead and pass this on as well. Much better, still working on downsizing because this is still too much for one person to use. 2 contoury bronzers, this contour highlight duo, 3 highlighters, look at that, besides the palettes obviously. And as pretty as this is, and as much as I don't want to get rid of it, I don't use it, and I would think I would probably reach for this subtle highlight more. So I think I'm probably going to back to MAC this perfect topping from MAC. Whoops, see, it just doesn't want to be here. But that's it for this drawer. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully it motivated you. If you have declutter vlogs on your channel, please let me know because I love watching these. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Maddie Hearts. I am super active there. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe and come back for parts 2 and 3.